YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Immortal Empires is here, and I'm not the only one who is the heir to Immortal Empires. Folks, it's here and you're playing it, which means that I might be getting a whole lot less views in this video because they're like, I mean, why didn't that stupid guy shut up now? Because I get to play the game. And I hope you all are playing it, and I hope you're having fun with it. I figured it would be worthwhile for me to come and give you kind of an impressions video, what I think of Immortal Empires. This is not going to be a full-fledged review. If it is a review at all, then it's a very amateur-esque one in the sense that I do not have the time to sit down and tell you I've played 150 hours or 200 hours or whatever it is and write a big old script and come to some conclusion and try and make my point with all these little well-bulleted, thought-out things. I don't have time for that. I just don't. I have a full-time job that is probably a little bit more than full-time, and I've got a couple of boys, and I love doing things with them, and I also have to spend time with my wife. I got a lot of things going on. However, I did play the game a lot, and I played the game a lot because it has been a lot of fun for me to get in and explore. This is one such example of playing the game that I wanted to show you all. This is a very hard campaign difficulty, normal battle difficulty, so kind of just a casual campaign for me. I cranked up the in-game difficulty to 200%, and the in-game happened to be like the Dawi tide. I don't remember what they call it. And I called mine the Cathay tide because check it out, man. I'm playing Western Provinces. I've been busy. In case y'all haven't noticed, we've been busy. Wiped out Zinch up here, and then Kolek is up here on his last legs as well. So I'm almost near a long victory, but I need to defeat the great grudging that the Dawi threw out at us. Let's see if it has, I can't remember the name it gave it. Ultimate campaign victory, here it is. We have to take out the Dawi. Basically, the Dawi rose up in a great grudge against me, and we would have to occupy all of their main holds and, you know, basically destroy them. So yeah, in any case, I think I'm pretty close to the long victory, though. We just have to kill the Heralds of the Tempest, and we get a long campaign victory, almost. Almost. We've still got to do that one as well. So a few more settlements. But it's been a pretty successful campaign for me. I've played many others. I've had time to play some Bretonia. You all have seen some of that. I've played some Karl Franz. I've played some Kolek. I've played some Valkia. Played some Grombrendel, I've played some Emmerich, like I've played quite a few different campaigns. So I've managed to get around to see quite a few. I checked my different things and I'll kind of play as I go here. I was trying to lay an ambush here for this Dawi army. See if we can get into some action with them. Let's see, got some skill points. Let me just hand these out real quick and then we'll continue on. Great Bastion, Lightning Strike.
I was born.
Cathay is pretty fun, in my opinion, to play into the late game because they got a lot of very powerful units like the Celestial Dragon Crossbowman. Yeah, I was trying to add guard in there. The Celestial Dragon Crossbowman, and then the Crane Gunners. They're both pretty obscene, played into a campaign because you can, you know, level them up a whole bunch, and it's pretty much a crap load of fun, and I highly recommend it. Let's finish off Sure Aim here.
I was born to wield it.
Okay, I'm gonna wait on the caravan because I'm waiting on my good caravan to be ready to go again. The caravan trips have gotten pretty challenging. I was making over 20,000 in income not very long ago, until I, you know, decided to go ahead and raise up a couple more armies because I haven't really had to. It's been relatively easy to defend my territory, and I've had pretty good success trading. But anyway, that's just kind of this campaign. So I'm showing you a late game scenario and what that late game scenario looks like, because hopefully this will help you all get to form some opinions of your own while I give you my impressions. So here's my impressions. Not that many months ago, I said that in order to fix Warhammer 3, CA had to do a few things. And essentially, summing that all up, because I'm not going to go back and hit every bullet point on it, but summing it all up, I said they need to release an epically large map. They need to add all of the little details that we're looking for, like unique start positions for the lords, reworking faction mechanics, and you know, making an update to the factions who still need it. I mentioned all these things that they needed to do, and I basically said that the only way they're going to win players back is if they make something so big and so impressive that it really finally feels like the sequel to Game 2. Not just a repeat of Game 2 and Game 3, but a proper sequel. the game too. And here we are in the Immortal Empires map. It is, I mean, it is massive. When you start off, there's 274 factions. Or sorry, factions, at the start. It is huge, absolutely huge. I want to say there was like 500 regions or something like that. I don't remember exactly how many it was. It was some gargantuan number of settlements on the map. They added sea lanes. They added in-game scenarios. They put a slider in where you can change the difficulty of the in-game scenario. They put a slider in where you can change the timing of the in-game scenario. They added more features where you can customize your campaign from the beginning. There's 86 legendary lords to choose from, and every single one of them has a unique start. They added updates for Chaos, and for anybody who owns the Warriors of Chaos DLC, you basically got more updates to your game. And of course, if you don't own that, you still get to play against it whenever you're playing the game. They have added the 4 new legendary lords within that update, which is another DLC, of course. So you can buy that if you choose to, and of course, if you don't, then it's something that you can play against when you're in there. If you own Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 and all the DLCs, all that is now very relevant to this game. You can play all of those factions, all on one map. And you can do so in the biggest sandbox that any Total War campaign has ever seen by a long shot. It is huge. So, if you want my impression of what I've played, now remember this is all early access. Everything could change tomorrow on people's opinions on launch day when, hundreds of thousands of people get their hands on the game, or however many people populate Total War Warhammer 3. I don't know what that number will be. Is the game what it should be now? Well, technically this is still a beta, and it's because they're going to still be polishing and adding a few things.
Continue working with me.
But, in my opinion, were they done polishing?
You.
Were everything here? Would this be the game? Yes. I think this is it, folks. I think CA did it. I think that they had a boondoggle of a launch that frustrated a ton of us. I didn't necessarily see that coming. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. Just go ahead and admit that now. I probably should have seen it coming while I was in early access. I didn't see it because I was having fun with the new features in Warhammer 3, and then, once it came out and everybody started discussing and I kept playing and realized, okay, oh dang, I'm sick of this. I mean, I realized it. I realized what the boondoggle was. Now, so that said, I could be wrong here, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not Nostradamus. I can't tell the future. I don't know exactly how I'm going to feel about this game 2 or 3 weeks from now, but I can tell you that I've had early access to it for roughly that amount of time, and I've gotten to play it for quite a while. I have not gotten tired of it yet. In fact, I can't stop playing it. Very different than my experience a few months ago, where I just didn't care to play Warhammer 3 at all, because I was frustrated with it. Now I do want to play it. I want to play it a lot. I want to play a lot of different factions. I want to see all the in-game scenarios. I want to come back and try different army builds. I want to come back and try the new start positions. I want to see what it's like playing the different in-game scenarios with different factions. I want to try pulling some of the in-game scenarios in really early, and then I want to see what it would be like to do them very late. So, like, I get to have a big map wipe, and then maybe a challenge later on. Given all the difficulty settings that you can adjust now, there's a whole bunch more you can do to, like I said, just customize the whole experience. So there are many, many reasons to come back and play the game over and over and over again. And we don't even have the DLCs yet, really. We got Champions of Chaos today, which, don't get me wrong, that is a DLC, and it seems to be fun. In fact, I think that DLC has pretty much just saved Nurgle from the depths of the crapshoot, which I guess is appropriate for Nurgle because he looks and smells like a crapshoot anyway. But that's by design, right? I'm not trashing him, just saying that is Nurgle. He looks and smells terrible. That's his role in Total War. Fortress of Vorag looks like it's only got the one army here. What's this? Like it's very strange. Are they sieging? Oh yeah, they're still sieging it. I see. Like separated the flag from there. So there you go. It's still a beta. That's obviously looking like some kind of visual glitch or something. I would assume if I do this, I'm going to lose some troops. Let's go ahead and fight this, and we'll keep talking while we're loading in and fighting this. In any case, yeah, so I think it's here. I think that the game has what it needs at its base. This is what it should have been like way back. I'm going to say around launch. I'm okay with CA. Like, I think the best case scenario is that they launch the game like this, at 2.0 being on launch day. That is what really should have happened if CA wanted to hit this like home run straight out of the park, grand slam. That's what they should have done. Now, that said, I would be okay had they delivered what they did at launch and then very quickly come out with a few patches and then about a month and a half, 2 months later released this like this. That would have been fine with me as well. And I think it would have been fine with a lot of you. However, that's not what happened. The game launched and then the patches were very, very slow. Like the reaction time felt just almost eternal because it was taking so long. And it was frustrating, and people were getting irritated, and the mods weren't out right away, and people just started dumping the game because they couldn't play it the way that they wanted to, and they were not having a good time with it. They were irritated with it. And so, yeah, that I hope is not the case now. It certainly has changed the way the game feels for me. But again, I'm coming to you and telling you this as someone who knows that I got it wrong last time. Like, I thought the game was really epic, and it was in a lot of ways, and I was having really fun with it, and then, you know, it hit me. You know, once I started reading what people were saying, and then I played more, and I realized, like, dang, I am bored. I am frustrated. So it hit me. So I could be wrong, people. I reserve that right, and I'm trying to say this, like I said, in some humility here, knowing that I was wrong last time. And, but, I mean, I'm being honest with you in the sense that telling you I screwed up, and I'm also telling you that that I really, you know, despite having been wrong last time, I'm trying to warn you and let you know that, you know, I was that way, and that I'm not perfect. And like I said, I have not spent a forever amount of time in this game where I know everything about it 100%, like no questions. There's gonna be maybe things that change. I hope not. But essentially, I'm droning on and on to say this here, which is, I think this is a good place for the game to be. I think people are going to have a whole lot of fun with the game, and I'm excited for that. I'm very much excited for that. Anyway, let's kill some Dawi, shall we? My forces might get a little bit roasted here. My rockets are going to have to keep working on their cannons. Their cannons are going to try and snipe my caster. The AI is just a brutal sniper jerk. Like, they will never stop sniping forces. It's like their favorite thing to do. Alright, so that flame cannon is going to rip me a new one. I'm going to see if I can hit it with my crane gunners. I don't know whether one of my crane gunners routing because of the cannons. Alright.
Repositioning.
Oh yeah, we got the flame cannon. Sweet. Alright, so my crane gunners got the flame cannon. And Dawi have some pretty brutal late game armies. It's pretty entertaining. Heal up here. Use some of my magistrate abilities here to buff up some of the capabilities. Let's go get those guys. Right there's our new rocket target. So yeah, they're tough, but we should be able to take care of this. Look at our crane gunners just sniping out the enemy. They added the blood, by the way, which needed to be here way back at the beginning too. So the blood's been added. The epic maps here. The factions are here. The unique start positions are here. Like I said, I think the game now has what it should have in order to be considered the full and complete what do you call it, sequel to Warhammer 2, as it should be expected at this point in time, right? Because Warhammer 2 had all of its DLCs. All that's already happened. That's not yet the case with Warhammer 3. So yes, there are some things that remain to be done in Warhammer 3, despite the fact that Immortal Empires is here. And that's just, it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this here. So yeah, there is definitely still a few things to come. But I think this is it, folks. And I'm optimistic. I'm very excited. I'm extremely excited for you all to get your hands in the game. And I would love for you to start putting some feedback in the comments. Feel free to join my Discord if you'd like. You can come there and talk about the game with other people. Share your thoughts as well. There's always a link for that in the description. There must be some slayers somewhere. Yeah, right here. Some giant slayers. Just have to kill them. There he is, right there in the middle. because he's not going to quit till his axe is blunted. But instead, I think we blunted his skull a little. So there was a nice Cathay victory. In-game has been fun. Like, here I am killing a ton of Dawi for an in-game rather than this same old predictable Archaon invading from the exact same spot. And then, like I said, I get to choose when the in-game is. I get to choose whether I want the in-game scenario at all. I can choose to play a short victory, and the victory conditions are far more relevant in Immortal Empires. They're not perfect, but they're better. And CA can keep building on them. Think about this, too. They could keep adding more in-game scenarios. They could add more things in the slider to help the player customize, and they may do this over time. And I'm stating this because I'm saying, like, I think the game's in a good position, but I also think they're in a good position to make it even better and continue to add to it and continue to make it a more epic experience. And they certainly did that. Game 2. Game 2, Mortal Empires became a better experience by far at the end of the cycle than it was at the very beginning of the cycle. So I'm very excited about the prospects of Immortal Empires, and like I said, I'm excited that you all finally get your hands on it. We had early access for a long time. It was probably driving some of you crazy, like how do these spoiled brat YouTubers get this and have to wait so long? Trust me, I wanted you all to have it a long time ago, because I want you to dive in, and I want us all to have the opportunity to enjoy it. I can't wait to stream it with you and start playing some games with you all, which we will be doing this week, so keep an eye out for that on my channel. The streams will be back, and we'll get some time in playing some multiplayer battles and playing maybe some multiplayer campaign too. I haven't gotten to try any multiplayer campaign here yet. So there's a lot to be done. Anyway, share your thoughts with me. What do you think about the state of the game? I think it's good. If you're wanting to buy the game, I think it's certainly in a much better place, worth buying now. Now, worth is always up to you, because only you know what your money is worth or what your time is worth. So, in my opinion, it's there. It is for me. You make that decision. Look at the game for yourself. You make the smart decision. You can always wait for sales and stuff like that too, but I think CA did well after having screwed up massively. They screwed up massively, so putting that out there, right? I'm not trying to forget that or gloss over. They screwed up bad. However, I think they done good, folks. I think they did good. I'm having a blast with this, and like I said, I hope you all do too. I mean, there's still some issues. Like right now, I think I'm getting like 20 frames when I zoom out. There's still a few performance issues and a few bugs. I think that's why they're calling it a beta, because they know that they have some more work to do. It's not perfect. I think I've only had one crash, but again, that may be different by user. So again, another reason why it's important to get this out there in the hands of the entire public, right? It's nice when we get to play it early and show it to you all early, but it really needs to be in your hands, and it needs to be there so that everybody can kind of play test it and we can feel everything out. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I hope it was useful. Hope you're enjoying day 1 of Immortal Empires. Like I said, please feel free to share your thoughts. It's always good to have feedback, because CA probably looks at my channel and others to see what people are thinking and to kind of garner that. Plus, I have a direct feedback line with them in a Discord where I work with them as a partner, this type of thing. So whenever you all give me feedback and I see feedback from people that is really good, I make sure to take that to them as well. So please share your feedback. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all soon with some more action. Total War, Warhammer 3, Immortal Empires. Get out there and enjoy it, folks.
The power of